Hello, Nick Davis here. I'm going to take you a quick walk through Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Don't get too carried away, this isn't first printing, this is third printing in February 1985, and it just recently came into my possession, which means I am very close to basically getting my Holy Grail white whale edition, which will literally will be one day the first printing of this book. But you know what? This is a beautiful third printing. Hardly any issues with the outside here. Nothing on the side here. Very clean. A slight crease just here, and a little bit discoloring on the printing down here. So you know what? This might be just as good as it's going to get for me. But I'm quite happy to have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This is supposed to be a standalone, one-shot, shits and giggles comic book, and together we're going to take a look through this because I've only ever read this story inside of compendiums or compilations. I've never seen it printed onto an actual page of a comic book back in the day. And since they used the newsprint paper back in the day, so printing on toilet paper, so I'm very excited to crack this thing open and walk through it with you guys. I hope you follow me along and take a look, and obviously leave your comments below if you're a Turtle fan. Now the fun thing about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before I go on is I've discovered them in 1986 via the role-playing game, and the first Turtle book I read featured Laser Lady and Concrete, and the Turtles were like basically bystanders to a huge epic superhero fight, and that one was drawn by Jim Lawson. So that's way back in the day. I'm a huge Turtle fan. My own work, Let's Hunt Monsters, is actually heavily influenced by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I first read a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book. It completely blew my mind. It's like, you can make a comic book with your own characters, and that's allowed? But enough of my rabbiting. I've got my special gloves on here. So let's turn the page and take a look at what's going inside here, okay? Wow. I've got to be really careful here, because this is probably one of the only 1 or 2 times I may ever open this in my ownership of this book. So let's make sure we're nicely lined up for the camera, and you guys can see everything that's going on here. As you can see here, it's third printing, February 1985. Special thanks to Quentin Eastman. Quentin Eastman was uncle of Kevin Eastman, who loaned the money half money to get this book printed. Dedicated to Jack Kirby and Frank Miller. I can understand that. Beautiful artwork here. Everything is hand lettered. There's not a hint of linotype or anything in this entire book, because that wouldn't be available as a resource. And I have to say, just opening this page just here gives me a whole wow feeling, because in the compilation this is so clean and white. It's almost as if the page itself adds a character to the illustration and really gives that really interesting look to it. I just think these are beautiful illustrations. I loved what they did to these guys, and it's inspired me to do my own thing. And there we go, that's the classic Eastman and Lard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles double page spread. I think I'm going to replicate this in one of my Let's Hunt Monsters books. I think that'd be kind of fun to do, right? Look at that, just beautiful rendering. I love the use of the duotone here, and again the paper is really kicking the ink up work and giving that nice feel to it. This comic book, when it came out at the time, it took me almost 20 years to finally read this one, because it wasn't until I got the compilation Volume 1 that I actually saw the interior of this book. Then I got the artist edition, basically see some of the breakdowns. And it's just the way it works out is really wonderfully. I'm looking how loose the panel work is, but how much flowing the story is, and how it just basically tells a story. And I've got to basically start thinking about how I can start replicating this in my own books. I think this is much looser and much more fun writing style. Although my artwork is loose and big like the Turtle stuff is, I think I've still got so much more to learn here. And to think this is their first comic book, you just see so much beautiful storytelling on it. It's really cool. I mean, look at Ralph. It looks really amazing. Okay. Here we go again. Each turtle gets their own little originated fight scene. I'm definitely working on this myself. My next page of Let's Hunt Monsters is actually going to have a similar sort of thing, but based off a huge asteroid fight. But you'll understand when you see that. Look at that. It's just so simple. These gaps, the pacing, the panel work is really amazing. These two Kevin Eastman and Peter Lord were basically comic book aficionados. Now we all know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are kind of riffing off the Daredevil origin. In fact, basically they intersect halfway through the story, that basically of the Turtle origins, the Daredevil origins are almost one in the same. And Master Splinter and Stick and that sort of thing basically is all riffing off that kind of thing. I just love this way. It's just so simply done, but so complex all at the same time. But isn't that always the case with the best comic book storytelling? is basically simple to follow, but basically well done. Artwork, I will say, yes. It's Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. They're not going to set anybody on fire with that artwork, but neither do I. I believe they basically just went with the old preference of Kirby that said perfection is the enemy of getting things done. I believe that artwork is really characterful and wonderful. I love the heavy inking and all the dual shade that you see in these. Really, they can use the technologies that's available to them to basically make the best book they possibly can. Another fun fact about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the actual comic book was actually at American comic book size. In fact, I think I've got one over here, his Night Watcher. This is American comic book size. Look at that. It's almost at drawn at the size that basically we draw comic books out now. So it's a little bit bigger, slightly bigger inside. Kind of reminds me a little bit of 2000 AD size in terms of pages, to be honest truth. This is really well done. I really love this. This is really nice. I'm just going to keep flicking through here. These little turtle guys just here. I really wish I could do my figures like this. I'm learning so much when I'm doing my own book to basically keeping things simpler and simpler and breaking down the lines and making it nice and easy. But there's the excuse me. There's that Daredevil intercept we just said. That's basically Daredevil. That's kid rescuing the blind stranger from the truck out of control. The glowing ooze that gives him sight behind sight sort of stuff and super senses, and basically at the same time mutates Turtle Friends here and Master Splinter as well. There we go. Oh, I've got to be careful. I'm really trying to be really careful. But right in the centre of the book here, the staples are. I'm trying my best not to put too much pressure on this book, because after we do this, this is going inside a big Mylar bag and likely will never be open for a very, very long time. This does though actually complete my run of Volume 1. Not almost all my Volume 1 first printings. From book number 3 onwards is all the first print. Book 2 is the second print, and book 1 is a third print. Though I do have variations of the 3 to 4 and 5 prints of the first 2 books as well. So basically, I can read the story in that, but it's not quite the same. This is the smell alone. This is just beautiful, beautiful. I'm getting all the memories of when I actually read my first Turtle book, and I'm feeling so inspired after this. I think once we finish this video, I'm going to be going off and inking my next page of Let Hunt Monsters, and I'm just going to basically just fly through it. Look at that. Look, it's just wonderfully done. These breakouts are just well timed. The paneling, it's like we haven't got a ruler properly. We're just going to kind of hand ink around it. I'm working to replicate some of this stuff, and it's just amazing. I like it. I like it. The hand lettered boxes as well on an overlay. So at least they got that bit right going for it. I mean, look at this. To think, actually, you know, what 2,500 were printed of the first book, and I can't remember when we got the third edition how many were printed. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments below how many were printed of the third edition. It certainly seems to be the more popular one out there, but it's really good to get hold of this one at last. It really is feel like I've got a Grail book in my hand here. Look at this, these pages are pretty perfect. I'm really happy about this find. There we go. Nice use of silhouette there. I really like that. In fact, I might be copying that later because I've got a sort of villain appearance appearing in my next book, so I might make use of that myself just to basically keep him in shadow. And then we've got Shredder feeling. This is the famous Shredder pose. Why this pose is famous is also basically the pose of the Shredder action figure from the first one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures. And there's the hand ninjas there, which are really cool as well. Oh, there we go. Turn it around. Fantastic double page spread. What's really great about this is that each one of the turtles has their own little action sequence going on. I actually really like this. I mean, I'm going to draw a big asteroid fight coming up next to a page spread. So I might just replicate and do some swiping, because I think it's allowed to do swiping as long as you homage it, and basically put my characters in a similar sort of fight scene. But, you know, put Button there, Mao there, maybe Wushi there, and we'll put Omi front and centre there as well, maybe. We'll mix it up and see what it looks like. So I think it'd be kind of a fun thing to do, because there's lots of space for me around here. We're going to fight in the monsters. They can basically, I can put the speech bubbles going on. I actually kind of really like this layout. In fact, I don't remember this page from the comprehension, so it can't have been that long since I last read the issue, but I think I'm going to swipe and then homage this layout for my next 2 pages of Let's Hunt Monsters. I'm being really careful here. I'm past the halfway point here. These guys are good, fighting more of them here. Nice, again, just break out there. Then we've got the tension building up here as they face off. Get the weapons ready and fight Splinter himself there. Turn the page, And here we go, fight on. Look at this. They're starting to take Shredder apart. He's a little bit more skilled than he thought he was, but now they get involved in hand-to-hand fighting, and so they go one-on-one, but realise they need to go together to actually take him down, and that's what they actually do. I really like the pacing here. These using these keyhole panels to basically get close up on the eyes, close up on the actions you should be seeing. This is like an education in itself for me, and I'm looking forward to basically when I ink my next page and draw the page, the two pages after, basically pour some of this stuff in it now and refresh my memory of how beautifully done this book is. Here we go. There we go. Then we go basically here. They fight him together, they knock him over, and then basically Splinter falls over, and that's a like splash. He's obviously hit some big explosion, hitty scene there, but we're not seeing his final fate because we've got this beautiful up the hill, up top of the wall turtle shot here. And they're basically talking about Master's Avenged, because this Turtle book was never meant to be a series. It was actually meant to be a one-shot. They're basically, hey, let's do a comic book. We may have these forever in our garage. But boy, did they blow up. And you can see why the quality of this book just speaks for itself. And there they go. The Turtles are basically disappearing. And we go. We live Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we strike hard. And we fade away into the night. That's the final piece there. That is beautiful. That's a wonderful splash. They're throwing Shredder's arm away. He's totally useless to him. And that's it. The end, because it was never meant to be a sequel. And of course, basically, every good comic book guy should have their own merchandise. And basically, back in the day, they were very limited to what they could do. But hey, presto, you could have your own t-shirt iron-ons. I wonder if these any that exist. I haven't in a while, because I really love to get hold of a Donny. That'd be really fun. Anyhow, let me know in the comments what you think of that. We're going to turn over the page here. And we've got the back of the book here. I think the cover was drawn by Peter Lard, if I remember rightly. Let me just have a quick look, see if this tells us in the image right down here who did what. Characters in the books, Connecticut, Dead or Alive of Existing. Art and style by Kevin Eastman and Peter Lard, third printing. I think this was done by Peter. This the colouring was, like an airbrush and acetone sort of thing. Looks really nice, really effective. Now, how many times has this cover itself been homaged, huh? How many times? Anyway, that is that. I hope you enjoyed my look through Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, Volume 1, third printing, just to be fair to get the full description in there. It's just an education to look through. It actually says Eastman 84, so I got it completely wrong. So Eastman did this, but I think Peter coloured it. It's just amazing. It's amazing, and you can see just by looking through this book why the Turtles took off as how they did. The sheer passion, the joy, the hey, let's do a comic book together. Let's do the best comic book that we can do with what we have. All came together, and look at this. It's absolutely wonderful. The first 10 or so issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were absolutely amazing. Quality dipped a little bit, then it came back up again. I think this is absolutely wonderful. I am so happy I've actually got one of these in my hand. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have one of these. It's definitely going to be a prize possession, that's for sure. Anyway, excuse me. That's it, folks. Thank you for coming to the end of the video. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Obviously, I don't update my YouTube channel that often, but I would appreciate it if you check out my Let's Monster comic book series, which I'll link in the description below, so you can go check it out. Think basically Teddy Bear Monster Hunter for Hire meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle type storytelling with a little bit of Monty Python and my 2000 AD sensibilities thrown in a huge over-the-top action imagery. That's basically, you would absolutely love if you basically grew up with comic books of the 90s and image stuff. That being said, thank you for following along, and I will see you again for another walkthrough, maybe for White Dwarf, maybe another comic book, maybe even when I'm painting a toy soldier. Who will see? Maybe I might even do some more time lapses of the artwork I'm doing myself. So until then, you take care of yourself, and cheerio.